All right, I think we can start now. Oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this month's webinar, Love Struck Leads. It's our annual LinkedIn algorithm report overview. And today we are going to learn how to create a LinkedIn love potion. I am Joanne Gore, the president of Joanne Gore Communications, and I want to welcome you all to this special annual event. Please, if you don't already, I encourage you all to please follow me on LinkedIn. I am a B2B marketer. I am a print industry advocate. I'm an Amazon author. We're going to share some links there about that. A business owner, a mom of 5, self-professed geekette. I wear a lot of hats. My book, Thriving in Chaos, Lessons Learned as a Corporate Marketer, is available all around the world on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or wherever you purchase your reading materials. So please jump in there. We've also put GGC's link tree up there. If you want to check that out, there's some downloads and resources there as well. If you've heard me speak before, you know that I am focused on figuring out who you help, how you help, and why it matters. I've been a LinkedIn member since September of 2004. I am definitely one of the OG LinkedIn folks, coming in at number 1,100,000 and something thousand. And again, please follow me on LinkedIn at Joanne Gore 121. If you want to know the significance of the 121, well, of course, you got to buy the book. There's a whole chapter dedicated to that. It's actually some interesting, fun stuff that we talk about. And of course, I would be remiss in not mentioning that GGC is blessed to have received the Innovation in Business 2024 award for Best Business Social Media Support Company in Canada. I am thrilled, honored, and grateful to the team for helping us win this award. Ultimately, everything we do, everything we learn, we share with you. So that's what we're here for. A little bit of housekeeping before we kick off. Submit your questions now. We do have the GGC team moderating the chat. And let us know where you're tuning in from today. I love it when we get people from around the world. I'm here in snowbound, snow-filled Innisfil, Ontario, which is just north of Toronto, up in the country. Where are you all coming from? Canada, US, Europe. Head to the chat. Please let us know where you're at. And hopefully it's sunny and not minus 20 degrees where you are. A replay of the recording is available on LinkedIn immediately following this broadcast. Of course, you do need to be registered in order to watch the replay. Thank you all here. Of course, you're here, means you're registered. If you're going to share this with anybody, again, it does require registration. And we plan on wrapping up in about 45 minutes. Of course, if there's questions and we're having great conversations, I'm happy to stay on a little bit longer. But otherwise, I think we're ready just to just about get started. So Summer, oh my God, Summer, I haven't seen you in forever. Welcome. California must be nice and sunny where you are today. So we're going to be talking about the report highlights. I've got a hard copy. Everybody knows me. I print everything out. So I've got a hard copy of Richard Vanderblom's report. So we do use this as our, or I use this pretty much as my go-to resource. If you don't follow Richard Vanderblom, he's an amazing, phenomenal person and really shares anything and everything to do with the algorithm. Now, it doesn't mean you have to. That's what we're here for. I follow all kinds of people and connected to all these people so that we can continue to learn the latest and greatest and share that with you. But again, if you're looking for assets, you're looking for resources, please connect with Richard Vanderblom. We're going to be talking as well as about the AI elephant in the room. I don't know of any webinar or any conversation that I've seen or heard lately that does not talk about AI. I'm asked all the time about it. So whether you're a newbie, whether you're just getting your feet wet, or whether you've been using AI as long as some of us have, which is, probably going on about 2 years now, which is old timer for AI in our world. We're going to talk about LinkedIn for social selling. Of course, it's not the same as just, picking up the phone and cold calling. In fact, LinkedIn is your opportunity to go from cold calling to warm conversations. And we're going to talk about that and how we can help you do that and how you can do that for yourself. And most importantly, where the LinkedIn algorithm fits in. And then, of course, we're going to open up a Q&A. Hey, Howard, nice to see you in the chat. Can't wait for some of this conversation to get going. So without further ado, oops, I went too far. Carol and I are battling over the pushing button. So watch the next one. Neither one of us is going to move it forward. So thank you, Carol, for helping me out behind the scenes. We've got Sam behind the scenes as well. Lois, great to see you. I have to catch up. I've got some news for you as well to share with you. So we have to catch up. Great to see you. So let's start this love fest and let's see about creating our own LinkedIn love potion. Before we get started, again, head into the chat and tell me on a scale of like 1 to 5, with 5 being, you can do this with your eyes closed. How comfortable do you feel on LinkedIn and how well you know LinkedIn today? Do you feel like you've got a pretty good trigger on the pulse, or you're not too sure? It's been a while. Just let me know. I'm just curious. 1 to 5. 5 being, hey, you can come up here and do this with me. 1 being, are you kidding me? So let's see where we go there. Okay, so if you'll notice, the date on this report is October of 2024. So at this point, the report is about 3 months old. And that's okay. There have been some changes and updates since this report, and I'm going to be talking to them because, like I said, I'm constantly following the latest trends and algorithm insights. In fact, I was chatting with Richard the other day, and he let me know that the next report will be coming out in about 8 weeks' time. So we'll see. Maybe we'll be able to get him on our next meetup, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But next month's meetup is going to be a Zoom meetup. So everybody's going to be contributing. So I'm going to see if Richard can join us. If he's not busy traveling the world. I hear he also just got engaged. So he's a busy, busy man. All right, so let's talk about the report highlights. I could talk for days. Those of you who know me know that that's a fact, especially when it comes to LinkedIn and the do's and don'ts and the what ifs and all of that. So I want to tap into a few of the key highlights and what they mean to you. And please head to the chat and put in your questions, comments, agreement, disagreement, and let's get this show on the road. So let's start off with some of the basics. When it comes to visibility, it should not come as a surprise to anybody. Overall, reach is on a decline. What we mean when we say reach is how many people out there, or how far is your post reaching? So potentially, how many views is it getting? How many times is it showing up in somebody's feed? That reach is declining. It's not a surprise if you're saying, I'm not seeing as much, or, nobody's seeing my posts. Yeah, that's why. And it's across all content types. So Reach declined in 2024 anywhere from 11 to 20%, whether you were using video, whether you're using text, whether you're using text plus an image, whether you're using whatever the combination you were doing. And trust me, we've all been playing and trying to see what's the magic combination. And the thing is, as soon as you think you figured it out, I promise you it's going to change again, probably within a couple of weeks. So don't feel like, oh, got this. I attended the webinar. I am good for the next year. I hate to burst the bubble. That's not the case. So keep tuning in, keep paying attention, check in every now and then because stuff does change. Tagging. So individual mentions. So this is also really important to pay attention to. Individual mentions in posts result in a 26% average response rate. That means if you are tagging a person, the likelihood that they're going to respond or that somebody will respond to your post goes up by 26%. Now, you have to be careful with this because if you tag all the same people all the time and they're the only ones that are commenting, then you can get penalized. If you are targeting people who never engage or respond, you will be penalized. So the days of, if anybody knows what I'm talking about when I say sort of the LinkedIn round robins, where we kind of have our posse of 4 to 6 people and we make a post and we tag the same people and everybody jumps in. And yes, it's great from it, it helps boost engagement. But if it's always the same people, always the same engagement, at some point in time, that's going to get flagged. So just be careful that, again, I'm going to say this a couple times, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Try to, yes, you can have your posse of 3, 4, 5 people, but mix it up sometimes. Infuse some new blood. And I'm going to give you some ideas on how to do that as well. Company mentions. This I found truly disappointing. If you manage a company page, I want you to pay attention to this stat. Companies respond to tags about 8% of the time. That is abysmally, shockingly, horrifically low as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? The good news is if you are a company posting on LinkedIn, it doesn't take much to make it into the top 10%, since only 8% are responding. But holy crap, what an opportunity. If you're a business, tag other businesses, tag your customers. It's not always about people. So yes, there are people behind companies, but what a huge opportunity to get your company on that LinkedIn map. So please take advantage of that. I bet you everybody is now racing. Head to the chat. Yes or no? Do you actually have a company page? You may or may not be running it, but does the company you work for have a LinkedIn company page? So 1 for yes, 2 for no. And if you want to go the extra distance, go to that company page and has that company posted in the last month. So that's just a little homework for you to do. And take a look at, have people been leaving comments? Have there been has there been engagement? Have people been following up? So yeah, pay attention there. Sales reps, salespeople, please, this is huge. This is a gold mine for you. Go to your company page. Take a look at who's following your company. Are those people that you want to get in front of? Because obviously they now know who your company is. You've warmed up that pipeline. You can get onto their page and make comments, but I digress. Tagging in comments. Now, here's a really interesting one. Tagging in comments don't trigger reach penalties. So remember what I said, if you tag a bunch of people but they don't respond, you could get penalized. But if you tag them in the comments, you won't get penalized even if they don't respond. So it's a sort of a secondary layer where if you're not sure somebody's going to respond, tag them in the comments. Or if you forgot to tag them, it's a great way to get the engagement going without penalizing reach risk. All right, engagement. Rule of 3. I love the number 3. I love playing with the rule of 3. Ooh, I'm seeing lots of ones. I love it. Yes, Paul, it is shocking to see how many companies don't post on LinkedIn, or it's been months. It truly is. An easy fix, low hanging fruit. Okay, rule of three. I'll take a breath for a second, let you guys catch up. Let me catch up. Less than 33% equals a penalty. 33 to 66% engagement is neutral. But if you manage to get over 66% of engagement, then you will get a positive boost. You will be rewarded by the algorithm and not penalized by it. So just keep all of that in mind. Hashtags. The hashtag debate continues to rage on. I was asked this question just the other day. Now, this has changed a little bit. Rule of thumb has always been kind of 3 to 5 hashtags. We're not on Instagram. We're not trying to stuff hashtags. But here's the thing. It doesn't have any impact on reach. So over the last 8 months, so when I say 8 months, up until the time of October and probably leading up to today for the most part, hashtags don't have impact, meaning if you put them in or don't put them in, it's not going to impact your reach. But what it can do is add a little bit of extra value. What I like to look at hashtags as, if you were going to do an AdWords spend, let's say on Google AdWords, we know some of those heavy hitter keywords are really expensive. Print, packaging, community. These are all high value, high performing, dense keywords. You can use them in your post if they make sense. So you have your standard keywords, you have your dense keywords, you have the opportunity to almost create a little bit of a sentence. I like to use hashtag JGC for B2B, hashtag marketing, hashtag sales. So when you read them together, it's almost like a little sentence. So use the hashtags as part of your strategy, understanding they're not going to help boost reach, but they may help boost engagement. Timing. This is another one. Again, we're talking, these stats are primarily North America that I'm giving. So when I say 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., again, I'm thinking North America. That said, put yourself in the shoes of the people you're trying to reach and think, when would they be on LinkedIn? When am I on LinkedIn? I'm on LinkedIn in the morning, right? Just checking out what happened the night before. Checking in with all my friends over in Europe whose days have long started. Yes, Alex, there is a recording of the webinar. As long as you registered, you can access the recording. It's available on LinkedIn. Thanks for asking, Alex, and nice to see you. All right, so midweek is best. So when are you on LinkedIn? In the morning. You might poke around in lunch, but a lot of people during the day, if they're really in a day job, they don't have time to check LinkedIn. They're not like me. I live on LinkedIn. But I see activity first thing in the morning. I see activity a little bit at the end of the day. I see a lot of activity at like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. People are just sort of shutting down. So again, some of this you're going to have to play with and figure out your audience. When's the best time? But again, midweek is best in general. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And again, that makes sense because Mondays, everybody's getting ready for the week. Fridays, everybody's getting ready for the weekend. Again, morning captures when people are starting their workday. So it includes the chance of interaction. I find Sunday mornings at like 10, 10:30, 11 are great. Again, everybody's different, depends on who you're talking to. Engage quickly. If you're making a post, it's really important to engage with comments within the first 2 hours. That will improve your post visibility. Now, I know that sometimes is difficult because you want to get that post out, because in your head, it's like, if I don't do it now, it's not going to get done. I've fallen into this trap myself. I post, it's like, okay, go. And then the next thing I know, I'm on a meeting or on a call. And I check back and like, holy crap, it's been an hour and a half. I better jump in. The good news is you have a 2-hour window. So at some point, try and make a conscious effort to jump back into your post. It used to be you shouldn't make an edit within the first 30 minutes of your post. That's changed a little bit. I'm excited to see the next algorithm report for the latest and greatest. You know what? If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. If you have to go back into your post and correct something that's blatantly wrong, go in and correct it. If it's something that can wait the 2 hours and then go in and test it out. Now, consistency is really what's critical. Now, here it says aim for a minimum of 2 posts per week and avoid posting multiple times per day. But I will say that with a caveat. As long as you're consistently posting 2 times a day might be really difficult for some people, but they can post 2 times a week or once a week or once every other week. I don't know that one, not so much. But from a net new post, just be consistent. And consistency is what looks like for you. I can't tell you what consistency is for me. It's very different. As I said, I live on LinkedIn. So once a week, a couple times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. If you've got sort of what we call evergreen posts that are sort of sitting, that are waiting, that they're not event specific, you can post them whenever you want. Those are great to sort of have in the can. If you ever want some ideas to just knock out a few posts and just kind of keep them sidelined. If you have 5 posts, doesn't mean you have to post them all at once. So think about what's comfortable for you, and that's where the consistency comes in. So I hope that makes sense and answered some of those questions, but let's move on. Direct messaging. This is near and dear to my heart because we know that your LinkedIn inbox, your LinkedIn messaging inbox is a highly valuable sales tool that for most people, they're just not using it to its full benefit. And in fact, in many cases, it's being detrimental to your success on LinkedIn. So I definitely want to talk about that. Sending a direct message on LinkedIn greatly influences content visibility, raising the probability of seeing that recipient's subsequent post around 70%. Now, let me explain what that means. And I'll pick on Alex because I just saw you in the chat. So Alex, I haven't seen many of your posts in my feed lately. If I was going to send you a DM after this call, after this Zoom, chances are you're going to start popping up in my feed again. If I engage with content on your page, for sure you're going to be popping up in my feed. So engagement, connections, conversations beget engagement, connections, and conversations. So you want to engage with new blood, reach out to new blood. If there's somebody you want to connect with, make sure they show up. Of course, you can click the notifications bell. You can do all of that, but communicate with them. Put a comment on one of their posts. Share one of their posts to your feed, explaining why you're sharing the post. And it doesn't mean I'm sharing this because I want to see more of their posts on my page, which is a good reason. But really, I'm sharing this because this content was just too awesome for me not to share. I think you would really find it of value. It's got tremendous information, and here's how it's helped me. Here's how I think it can help you. So make it relevant. That's when you're going to start to see some LinkedIn loving. If you interact with a content creator on a daily basis, the algorithm is likely to display their multiple posts in a single browsing session. So that's another really interesting one. Those who do create a lot of content, you're going to start to see them more and more and more. Inversion thinking. Now, this is also a really interesting one. It's really, in many ways, it's about the vanity metrics. It's like don't believe the hype. You can focus on what you can see. So what you can see are the posts that go viral, are the number of people who engage with your posts. Those same people, that round robin commenting again and again. You can see that. Everybody can see that. But if you really want that LinkedIn love potion to work, you have to look at what you're not seeing. You know, it's kind of like that whole what's going on under the iceberg, right? The silent lurkers who never engage, but they might be ready to buy. So they're checking out your profile. You might not know that they're checking out your profile. They might leave a like or something, but they're really not engaging, but they're absolutely paying attention. The clients who don't care about having a viral post, but they will look at your profile in stealth mode, right? They don't want you to see that they're looking, but they're looking. And finally, the posts that you don't write because you assume no one will care. That is going to hurt you the most. If you make your posts human and make them relevant and resonate and so that they resonate with the people you want to engage, folks will engage with them. And if they don't, that's okay. Because you put it out there. And as soon as you put that first post out there, you know what, you're going to get the confidence to put the next post out there. And maybe sometimes you have to rewrite it and go back to it, and that's fine. But as the great Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So I'd rather see you posting on LinkedIn and, you know, getting better and better and better than to not post at all because you're worried it's not perfect. Definitely one of those cases where perfection is absolutely the, I've now forgotten the rest of that. Oh, the enemy of good. So there you go. I hope I got that one right. Okay. I promised I was going to be talking about the AI and video elephants in the room. And you'll notice that the video portion wasn't even in the agenda because, as I mentioned earlier, Richard likes to keep us all up to date. And just a couple of weeks ago, he actually came out with a new report on LinkedIn's new video product bundle. LinkedIn is pushing video. If you haven't noticed, if you're on your mobile, at the bottom, there's actually a video feed that you can go to that, you know, it's kind of like the Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok, you know, trying to be that competition. Interestingly, there's some new research on that. And if I get to it, I'm going to talk to it. But a few things here that I really, really, really wanted to touch on. Absolutely, there is a rise of AI on LinkedIn. I want to see a show of hands, please. A yes, if you believe that you're seeing more and more and more AI generated content, whether it's images, whether it's posts, whether it's comments. Yes or no, if you don't think you have. Maybe the AI is just that good. So the AI content explosion, LinkedIn has absolutely seen a surge between April and October. So again, at the time of this report that I'm referencing, it was about 6 months. AI written posts are up 130%. Fully AI written posts. So if 50% or more of the post is written by AI, that's up 130%. If 100% of the post, that's up 180%. Now, these numbers aren't necessarily good, so hang on to that thought. AI generated images are up 75%, and AI written comments are up a whopping 340%. So again, I'm giving you the facts. Take away from that what you will. Matt, I'm seeing in the comments you wrote so many emojis, dead giveaway. You can tell AI don't use emojis. In fact, I tell it to use them because I do like to use emojis. So that's not necessarily a tell. I can tell you what that tell is. If you guys want to know, I'll tell you the tell at the end of this session if you ask. So the Vanderblom effect. Research confirms the trend of the AI content explosion. AI generated posts, however, experience significantly lower reach, engagement, and click-through rates compared to authentic human created content. This means that the algorithm is penalizing content that is overly reliant on AI. Let's face it, AI is here to stay. It's not going away. I use it. I'm sure everybody or the majority of you have been using or played with AI. The question is, who's in control? And at the end of the day, we're the humans. We add the intent. We add the sentiment. We add the feeling. We add the emotion. That's one of the, and that's not the tell I was talking about, by the way, but that is a big tell, whether it was AI written or not. The takeaway: AI is a very helpful tool. Over reliance can really hurt your LinkedIn reach and reputation. So prioritize authentic content that fosters genuine connection, just as I was saying earlier. Users want to engage with you, not a bot. And the funny thing is, sometimes it's like AI is talking to AI, and I literally see the conversations play out sometimes in the comments, and I can say, oh yeah, AI made that comment. Oh look, AI is responding to the comment that AI made. So it can be really funny, especially if you're one of those companies that aren't responding to your comments. If you're one of those lowly 92% of companies that are not responding, you don't know what's going on in your feed. So again, everything in moderation. Be consistent, be real, be relevant, be human. What else? Video. So here's some interesting facts. Yes, there's a lot of hype over video. Yes, LinkedIn is pushing video in the sense, like I said, there's actually just a video reel section on your phone if you want to just look at videos. However, more views does not equal more engagement or conversions. So you need to know what you're going after and what that means for the outcome of you and your business and your goals, your overall goals on LinkedIn. What is it that you're trying to do here? Engagement is 0.9 times lower than average posts. Conversions are 40% lower than when compared to document or text plus image posts. But the reach is higher. It's 3.4 times higher than other posts. So what does that mean? Again, don't put all your eggs in LinkedIn video handbasket. Do a little bit of both or all three. Use video to maximize reach. Use text and docs with images for engagement and conversion. And then you'll start to see, you might find out video on a Sunday morning is phenomenal. But a text-based post with a great image on a Tuesday drives tons of conversion. And that's where you can start to really feel out your personal network as well as the folks you're trying to attract and engage, because ultimately that's what we're here for. LinkedIn is a business person's business tool. It is the number one platform for conducting business online. So, key takeaways. Don't put all your eggs in the video basket. Think long term. LinkedIn is boosting video now, but trends do shift. Strategy is to chase results, not views. So I printed out here. Let me see if I can find it right now. Bear with me, guys. This came out, I think, 2 days ago from Richard. Video reach has dropped by 300% in the last 3 months. Question: could this be the end of LinkedIn boosting the TikTok hype? So this is like literally as of 2 days ago. When I'm looking for something, AI comments have the potential to kill the growth of a post. Soulless commenting can stop the spread of your post. So that is the polar opposite of a LinkedIn love potion. So again, this is all just in the last couple of months, couple of weeks. There's always something changing. Don't rest on your laurels. Take what we say with a grain of salt. Know your audience, know who you help, know how you help them, and know why it matters so that you can share and consume content, engage with the right people, and have these conversations with each other. Because ultimately, that's what LinkedIn's all about. All right. So here are Richard Vanderblom's 10 social selling pointers of 2025. This was again from one of his posts. None of this should be surprising given what we've already covered today. Number one, craft unique connections. Go after the folks that you would love to have a conversation with and figure out a way to connect with them. Go onto their page, comment on a post, get into their feed. Be a resource, not a salesperson. Don't connect with somebody and then hit them with a pitch slap. That is your surefire way of getting disconnected, kicked off their network, and potentially it could hurt your reputation on LinkedIn. You don't meet somebody and say, "Hi, nice to meet you. By the way, I'm single. I love long walks on the beach. I want to have 3 kids. And when can I meet your parents?" Like that doesn't fly. So don't expect this first time you connect with somebody that you are going to hit them with everything you sell. No, I connected with you because I thought that there would be value in having you as a connection. So keep that in mind. Master the art of listening. Listen to what people have to share. Listen with interest, not just so you can give a response. And that's a really powerful lesson that I learned. I hope if you've never heard that before, it's the question goes, are you listening to hear? Are you listening to respond? So if your mind is always on, okay, how am I going to follow up with that? How am I going to sell? You're not paying attention, and that will hurt you. Curate an irresistible profile. Again, that's where we can help you. We're going to talk a little bit about that. For everything from your headshot to your description. We've had sessions before on creating and optimizing your LinkedIn profile. We've shared our LinkedIn profile checklist. So you can tune into one of those sessions. Or if you want any of that information, just hit us up and we'll be happy to send it to you. Consistency is key. Number 5. And again, consistency is based on what that means to you, right? Consistency for you is not the same as consistency for me. It's what's a realistic goal that you can achieve. Don't set yourself up for failure. If you think you can post twice a week, but you know you can do it once, aim for posting once a week. And if you get that second one in, woohoo, yay! And then eventually get to 2 and then try and squeeze in that third. It's kind of like going to the gym, right? Everybody says, I'm going to work out every day. And then after 2 sessions, you're like, you can't move. So let's see if you can go twice a week and then see if we can bump that. Can't believe I just equated LinkedIn with the gym, but hey, my two of my favorite passions. Embrace the power of video. Again, with that caveat of embrace video, but know when to use it and what it's going to do for you. Spark conversations, ask questions, not yes, no questions, but leading questions that really engage in that dialogue. How did you make this happen? What made you choose that? How did you get into this profession? How long have you been doing this? Think of those 5 W's: who, what, where, when, why, and how, to really spark those conversations. Honor personal space. AI is your friend, not your enemy. Again, use it, but remember you are in control. And of course, cultivate those long-term relationships. So, I just spent a whole bunch of time dumping a whole bunch of information on you. Now it's your turn. Sam and Carol, I know you've been in the chat. Any questions that have come up? I see Lois. What's the update on sharing article links that take the viewer to another site? Great question, Lois. To my knowledge, and again, this shouldn't be any surprise. LinkedIn doesn't want you to leave LinkedIn. So there's still a reason why people say link in comments, especially if you're sharing a YouTube link versus a late native video to LinkedIn. Especially if you're sharing, yes, content somewhere else. Now, I've seen a little bit of a resurgence in newsletters and articles on LinkedIn. So it's one way. So if you have an article on a third-party publication, and if you can get that as an article on your LinkedIn page, and even just cite this article first appeared in what they think in Q3 of 2024. So you're giving credibility to the originating source, but you're keeping it on LinkedIn and you're pointing people there. That's one way that folks are doing it. But yeah, Lois, unfortunately, anytime you take somebody off the platform, you do risk being penalized. That said, it gives credibility to show a third-party source. Hey, I got picked up in Forbes or CXO or wherever, and you want to share that. So it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. What are you trying to achieve? Are you going for reach? Are you going for engagement? Are you going for more connections? Are you looking to build your network? So based on that, that should influence your strategy around whether you post the link within the comment, whether you put the link in your post versus putting the link in the comments, whether you include that teeny tiny little thumbnail now. So when you share an article, I don't know if you noticed, LinkedIn used to spotlight the hero image of, let's say, a blog post. Now it's like almost like a little rectangle thumbnail. You get a teeny tiny image and the meta description. So again, LinkedIn has changed some of that. I'm not a fan of it. I like seeing pictures, images, or in my opinion, what stop the scroll. But showing that sort of stamp shows that it's a third party. So again, it's a little bit of hit or miss. And whatever answer I give you today could change. But rule of thumb, LinkedIn wants to keep people on LinkedIn. All right. Let's see if we have any other questions. I think one of the questions that I was looking at that I got here in the chat, I think we answered this one. Is it better to post at the right time or just be consistent? I would argue consistency is more critical. Become consistent, and then you can decide which time is best. Because otherwise, you don't really know where you're starting from. Oh, I'm going to post on a Monday. Oh, I'm going to post on a Thursday. And, this was a short post. This was a long post. Just be consistent. I'm going to post every Tuesday. And then once you get into that cadence, then you could say, okay, I'm posting on Tuesday. Now I'm going to post instead of at 10 a.m. I'm going to see what happens if I post at 10 p.m. See what happens. I don't know how many of you had kids or if you've ever had to introduce solids to a baby. You always do one at a time, because if you introduce too many and there's an allergic reaction, you don't know what it was that caused it. So you can only change one variable at a time to determine what the impact is when you're comparing apples to apples. So again, depending on how data focused, data centric you are, some people are willy-nilly. Oh, I tried it on a Tuesday. Next week, I'm going to try it on a Thursday and see if it got better. It's better on a Thursday. I'm going to keep it on Thursday. Again, be consistent. It will not fail you. Matt, value to a paid subscription versus free. Honestly, that's also hit or miss. I don't have a premium subscription to LinkedIn. I use the free version. I tried premium once. I didn't see the value in it. I ditched it. So That said, I would love it if others chimed in. That's something I will ask some of our other LinkedIn gurus like Nigel and Richard. But right now, again, paid subscription. LinkedIn's going to show you some love. We live in a pay-to-play society. I have no doubt that if you pay for the subscription, LinkedIn will reward you. To what extent, I don't have the answers to that. So stay tuned. I'm hoping that the next report will answer some of those questions. Yes, Thomas, posting from overseas is sometimes difficult with the time zones. That's where scheduling software comes in handy. We use that as well. So that we can ensure it falls in at 10 a.m. in your time zone. So yeah, that could be a little bit tricky. I know we are at the 45-minute mark, and I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. I am, of course, going to hang out till the top of the hour. I just want to make sure we go through some of these other slides and cover off some of the other things that I wanted to cover. And I promise I will go quickly. Business Connector, I have to give a little plug to Business Connector. It's the reason we're all here. It's LinkedIn personal inbox messaging and connection management. It's how we help you grow your first degree connections, better engage with those first and second or third degree connections, and really drive those conversations into ideally events. I don't like using the term leads on LinkedIn because it doesn't follow the same criteria as a traditional sales lead. To me, a lead on LinkedIn is somebody who is engaged in a conversation and potentially wants to take it onto the next stage, whether it's a calendar invite or a phone conversation. Basically, if you can get them off of LinkedIn and into their calendar, that's a really great first step. All right. We work with the algorithm, not against it. That's why we pay so much attention to what's going on. My desk is constantly cluttered and littered with the latest research and reports. I drive everybody crazy. But that's what we do, and we're here to help you. We have honed the art and science of LinkedIn messaging to provide hyper-personalized content tailored to resonate in your voice, in your approach with the audience that's going to help you most. And of course, the best part about Business Connector is you no longer require a Sales Navigator license. We literally have the ability to rent licenses when we onboard you and when we set up your campaigns, and it comes free with Business Connector. So that's a huge coup. If you're looking to generate business, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking to grow your network, then we can help you. That's literally what we do day in and day out, is have conversations using your LinkedIn messaging inbox. We craft your story. If those of you have attended past sessions with Dan Manning, he will craft your personal story. It's included with your Business Connector subscription. We get your story written, we onboard you, we craft your responses in your voice. And Nigel Cliff, again, he's taught me everything I needed to know when I first got onto LinkedIn. He will take you through a 90-minute deep dive session if you want to really, really beef up your own profile and start to take control of your own personal profile. We talked about AI. So I would be remiss in not sharing this amazing AI professional headshot tool that I used. Literally, I uploaded a bunch of selfies. I uploaded 5 selfies, cost me $40, and I got 200 of these to choose from. So here's sort of a smattering just to show you what you can get. Scan the QR code that's on the screen to take you straight there. It is painless, I tell you. 5 headshots, that's all, 5 selfies. That's all you need. It's amazing. All right. Business Connector, I told you, I skimmed through it, includes your personal story. We optimize your personal profile. We manage your LinkedIn inbox. We're constantly reaching out for new connection requests. We are engaging with your existing network and funneling follow-up pipelines. We onboarded somebody just last week, and the comment that they made when they saw the back end and how robust it was and saw all the pipelines set up and how it works, she's like, holy cow, this is a CRM for my LinkedIn. And I was like, exactly. This is manages everything for you. It is truly awesome. Again, if you want more information, click on the QR code. So I hope that this is going to help you build your LinkedIn love potion and build irresistible connections. Please save the date. Next month, March 27th, is our Zoom meetup. So I'm coming from behind the camera. We are all going to meet up on Zoom, and we are going to talk lead gen tips and tricks using LinkedIn. You don't want to miss it. This is always a fabulous conversation stemming from what is a lead? What does a lead look like on LinkedIn, and how do I get more like that? And I think that's it. I think that is the last slide of my presentation. Again, if you have any questions, please head to the chat. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I wish you all good luck in creating your LinkedIn love potion. And again, if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me, head to the chat, and share. Follow me on LinkedIn. And I look forward to seeing you next month on the 27th. You're welcome, Matt. And I look forward to seeing you on LinkedIn. Have a great day, everybody.